KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And making news right now, torrential downpours moving through San Antonio at this hour. We'll check on how long it will last and how this will affect your commute.
And the Senate will vote on whether to advance a sweeping voting rights bill today. Why For the People Act is unlikely to pass.
And outside with live cam, waiting on that cool front to move through. We'll get an update on that. And of course, we're going to check in with Steve. We're seeing some of the lightning right now on one of our live cam shots. Good morning, everybody. It's going to be a busy morning. It's Tuesday, June 22nd.
Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining us. A fiesta last night, but a lot of rain right now.
Oh, wow. And it was really humid and hot yesterday for the one and only Fiesta Parade this year. Justin is in for Mike this morning. And Justin, you've been here since the wee hours this morning.
Yeah, we had some storms move through earlier out west, dumped some heavy rain, and now we're getting some showers and storms reforming right along our frontal boundaries. That includes us here in San Antonio, where some of those downpours are coming down right now. You look at the live radar, we've got rain stretching from Del Rio through San Antonio all the way out to Gonzales. Pretty good looking storm there around Gonzales. Thankfully, nothing severe this morning. This is just rain, but it will affect your morning commute. Here's a little closer look at San Antonio, and you can see where some of the heavier rain is right around downtown, up and down I-10. Then as you get south towards Lackland, Palo Alto College, seeing some good rain there. Lightning strikes being detected now. It's going to be a little loud this morning. May have woken you up. This shower and storm activity is moving south, but it'll take a couple more hours before it moves out of San Antonio completely. And then as we look off to the east, I mentioned that storm around Gonzales. It is just now moving in. So if you're watching us from Gonzales, very heavy rain starting to come down, a lot of lightning strikes, and there's likely going to be some gusty winds with this storm. We'll keep an eye on it. We haven't had a whole lot of severe weather this morning, but we can't rule it out. I think the main threats are going to be hail and gusty winds. Also seeing some heavy rain there around Luling. And for our friends out in Del Rio, the rain is coming to an end, but you got some heavier rain earlier, picked up over an inch of rain. And we've seen some reports this morning of 3 to 4 inches up in the hill country. Temperature wise, we're at 81 at the airport, but starting to cool down now that our frontal boundary is sliding through finally. 72 Bernie Stage, 69 in Comfort. That's a lot better than what we were looking at yesterday. As we zoom out some, the 80s still holding on south of that front, but north 60s and 70s at this hour. Forecast for today, we should see the rain winding down here next couple of hours, at least here in San Antonio. We'll keep it a 20% chance of rain through the morning time. Temperatures only in the 80s and low 90s today, so change from yesterday. And we'll get some hotter weather headed our way tomorrow. We'll talk more about that 7-day forecast in just a bit, but the roads, a little bit of a mess right now. A lot of rain out there, Steven. How's it looking?
Yeah, you know, Justin, all that rain does mean wet roads for our early morning commuters. This is a view from 90 at 36. We had a few crashes that were working when I came into the station this morning. Very difficult commute, by the way. Taking a look right here, one of the crashes was reported right here off Highway 90. Now, that has since cleared, but let's take you to where that once was because we're still seeing a little bit of a backup there. Now, that crash was reported off US 90 westbound right at 151, leaving that exit closed. You can see a little bit of yellow still means that we have some congestion going on out there in the area. Again, a lot of this rain has led to some slick roads and more crashes that we're now seeing in this early hour of GMSA. Taking a look right here, one of those crashes just cleared from our system off I-35 northbound at US 90. This one was causing a little bit of congestion right there along the interchange. Thankfully, that has since cleared, but we have spotted another crash. Looks like that one has cleared as well here off I-35 northbound at AT&T Center Parkway. Again, a little bit of congestion left over. So again, we know that this usually happens when it rains. We start to see more crashes. One of the things that we also tend to see are wet roads and ponding. Take a look right here at our road weather map. All that green means that we have a lot of wet roads happening out towards Live Oak, Converse. If you're coming in from New Braunfels on 35, you're going to want to be extra careful this morning because the roads are going to be slick. We did see some ponding coming in from 90 and I-10 and even 281, and I was coming in and saw it was a little bit of a difficult commute this morning because of that rain. So again, we'll be bringing this road weather map up every half hour or so to continue to show you these conditions and as they continue to improve as well. But taking a look at our inbound times right now, if you're coming in from 281, take it a little slow this morning from Bulverde. Right now, we have 29 minutes to the downtown San Antonio area. And if you are coming in from New Braunfels on 35, we have 26 minutes for you. And on I-10 coming in from Seguin, 33 minutes. So if you are leaving out the door for the next few moments, or in the next few moments, that is, take it slow. We'll be watching the roads closely here in the traffic lab. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephen. A suspect caught on camera during multiple robberies is now in police custody. The San Antonio Police Department's robbery task force arrested 28-year-old Eric Mora over the weekend. He's also accused of robbing a restaurant on Fredericksburg Road. In addition, he's suspected of taking part in a June 10th robbery of a bank on Woodlawn, as well as a game store robbery off of Loop 1604 2 days later. Police say Mora can be seen in some cases showing threatening notes to employees. During their investigation, police say they discovered Mora's vehicle, which led them to him.
In your morning headlines, the Senate poised for the first time to vote on a sweeping election reform bill tonight. It's a vote, however, that many believe is destined to fail. All 50 Democrats appear to have reached an agreement on the legislation, but it still faces tough opposition from Republicans, where 10 votes are needed for it to pass. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki acknowledged the bill likely won't secure the votes it needs. In March, the House passed the far-reaching for the People Act, which would take steps like expanding absentee and early voting, limiting partisan gerrymandering, and reforming campaign finance laws.
New videos released by the Justice Department show what some members of the Proud Boys were doing during the Capitol insurrection. The footage is part of a federal case against Charles Donahoe, who is accused of leading the group on January 6th. The first video shows a group of his co-defendants as they prepared to enter the building. Another one captured what prosecutors say is the key moment when the group broke a police line and stormed the building. In that piece of footage, prosecutors say Donahoe is seen wearing a red and white bandana, looking on as rioters took down 4 police officers on the Capitol stairwell. The North Carolina man is not accused of entering the building, but he is facing conspiracy and other charges. Donahoe has pleaded not guilty, and he is currently in jail.
Over in Missouri, police looking for video evidence after a shooting last night left 3 people dead, 4 others hurt in St. Louis. Police described those 3 victims as adult men in their 30s. The motive is still unclear. The shooting comes on the heels of another violent weekend in the nation. According to the Gun Violence Project, the U.S. saw 10 mass shootings between Friday and Sunday, which left at least 7 people dead and 45 others hurt. Now to the extreme weather impacting tens of millions of Americans. While it's raining here, other parts of the country are seeing some really big issues.
It comes after a powerful tornado left a trail of destruction in the Midwest. ABC's Faith Abube has the details.
Overnight, severe weather lashing the Northeast.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Lightning lit up the night sky north of New York City, where people were told to take shelter immediately last night, when a line of storms briefly triggered a tornado warning for the area. Further south, this massive tree smashing into a home in Delaware, nearly hitting a woman inside.
It's a pretty large tree, and the majority of the second floor to the left side of the house is down into the kitchen area. I'll call it a miracle, but she's very fortunate she was in the position she was in. The tree just missed her.
The same storm spawning damaging tornadoes in suburban Chicago.
Oh my God, look at the oh my God. See, you couldn't see any of that last night.
People in Naperville, Illinois woke up to extensive damage Monday after an EF3 tornado slammed the area with winds up to 175 miles per hour. This backyard getting torn apart, a basketball hoop tossed like a toy. The storm damaged more than 130 homes, leaving at least 8 people hospitalized. This woman returned to salvage whatever she could from her home. She says she took her son out of his room just seconds before this piece of wood puncturing the boy's bed and his pillow.
I protected him, so I think I saved his life.
Faith Abube, ABC News, New York.
Right now it's 4:38, about 79 degrees.
Coming up next, Becky Hammon is one step closer to becoming the first female head coach in NBA history, plus a preview of University of Texas baseball taking on Tennessee today in Omaha.
And back outside with live cam, we had storms much earlier, including a couple severe thunderstorms. We have more storms moving through the Alamo City as we speak, including some torrential downpours. Justin and Stephen are both keeping tabs on the weather and your morning commute right here live on GMSA. Time for a look at sports. Spurs assistant coach Becky Hammon will receive a second interview for the vacant head coaching job over in Portland. According to ESPN, Clippers assistant Chauncey Billups will also be one of the finalists that will receive a second interview. Becky trying to become the first female head coach in the history of the NBA. And with 7 vacancies so far this offseason, her chances are going up. Hammond is also up for the vacant head coaching position with the Orlando Magic. Meanwhile, the Spurs will participate in the Salt Lake City Summer League between August 3rd and 6th at Vivint Smart Arena. This marks the return of Summer League after the pandemic wiped out last year's participation. The league features a 4-team, 6-game format that will not only include the Spurs, but also the Memphis Grizzlies and 2 teams representing the Jazz. Each team will play 3 games as part of daily doubleheaders starting on that Tuesday. Let's talk college baseball. Texas Longhorns now face Tennessee in the losers bracket later today at the College World Series up in Omaha. That's after losing a pitcher's duel in the first round in Mississippi State. Today's game set for 1 p.m. You can watch it on ESPNU. Checking on our guys, San Antonio Mission starting up a new series tonight after ending last series against Northwest Arkansas with a loss. This time they're taking it on the road, headed up to Frisco and the Rough Riders. The game starts at 7:05.
And time now, it's 4:43 and about 79 degrees.
Up next, headaches at the airport. A warning anyone planning to fly soon and why you should prepare for changes.
And welcome back. It's about 4:46. American Airlines is canceling or changing flights through mid-July due to weather and labor shortages. ABC's Gio Benitez has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, headaches at the airport. A warning to anyone planning to fly, prepare for changes.
I got an email at 3 o'clock in the morning on Sunday saying that our 2-hour and 20-minute flight from Philly to Orlando got rerouted.
Megan Wolf is heading to Orlando for a mother-daughter trip, one of the thousands whose itinerary was changed unexpectedly.
Trying to add a stopover that's multiple hours away, it wastes the whole day.
As the pandemic nears an end, some airlines are changing flight schedules the day of, but also sometimes days, weeks, and even months before departure to better optimize their schedules. And we'll have much more on the coast-to-coast travel mess coming up at 7 a.m. Plus, the expert tips for what to do when your flight gets changed or canceled. With your GMA First Look, I'm Gio Benitez, ABC News, New York.
4:47.
Go ahead and check in with Stephen Cavazos to see if all that rain is causing problems on the roadways.
You know, Mark, Stephanie, it sure is. And we definitely have already spotted a lot of issues that we're going to be tracking here in the traffic lab. So definitely a very busy morning. Let's go ahead and take a look right here at the upper level of I-10, upper level, that is, of I-10 westbound at Culebra. There is some high water that's being reported there. We have been spotting a lot of issues, again, out on the road due to this weather, which is, again, what we typically expect when the rain starts to come down. We start to see lots of crashes. We start to see lots of closures, so we'll be watching all of these very closely. Now, and one of those crashes that we're watching here is right here off Northwest Loop 410 in Vance Jackson. That one just popped up on our radar right there. Not causing any real issues right now, but we have spotted a lot of slowdowns, people taking it slow, which is what we like to see when the weather tends to get a little bit severe. So taking a look right now, we're seeing a lot of wet roads still around 281 going into 90. We're seeing some ponding there. That's going to be the big issue for anybody that's going to be heading out the door in the next few moments. If you see water in the road and you're apprehensive about driving through it, turn around, don't drown. We want to make sure that everybody gets to where they need to be safely. But again, you can see a lot of that. We're seeing wet roads from 35 all the way from Converse to up to New Braunfels, even as far up as 281. So just again, use some extra caution and be wise when you're going to be heading out the door this morning. Taking a look right here at I-10 upper level at Culebra Road, we're looking at the view. I believe this may be a closure that we're going to be watching very closely here and see how that may impact the commute. But Justin, definitely keeping us busy here.
Yeah, busy morning. Cold front coming through, an actual cold front in June, and this is kicking off these showers and storms. Radar is our friend this morning. We've been watching this activity closely. We've only had one warning, and that was much earlier this morning. So most of this is just good, heavy rain, and you can see what's going on here around San Antonio, where we're getting some of these heavier downpours. These white lines here represent lightning strikes, so this is fairly electrical too. It's going to be a little loud out there. But where some of the heavy rain is now is just south of downtown. Around 410 and I-10, or I-35, I should say, near Palo Alto College. Getting some good downpours around Lackland. You're seeing some very heavy rain, and this is going to result, as Stephen mentioned, in some ponding on the roadways. Mitchell Lake should go down 281. You're dealing with some very heavy rain. Also around Elmendorf, Calaveras Lake. As you get out towards Atkins and St. Hedwig, same story. Now, if you're on the north side of San Antonio, things are starting to quiet down a little bit. It's just some light rain in that front, again, is continuing to work through. I do want to take a look at some of the potential hazards here very quickly. I think that this is mostly just rain, but we are picking up on the potential for maybe a little bit of small hail mixed in here, some gusty winds. This is, again, not severe, though. It's not going to be hail that causes really any problems. And that is the case also as you get out towards Gonzales. So let's switch it back to the radar here, and we can show you that there's some heavy rain starting to move into Gonzales. Lightning strikes there. It's probably fairly loud as these showers and storms are moving off to the south at a pretty good clip. And this doesn't want to switch back for me. There it goes. Around Stockdale, seeing some light rain. And then we'll zoom out some, and you can see kind of this cluster that's working through Gonzales County as well. So if you're in the city of Gonzales, that very heavy rain is moving through, and you're seeing that right along Highway 183 there, and as you go back towards Seguin through Gonzales and Guadalupe counties. We've also still got some showers and storms out towards Del Rio, although those are starting to come to an end. So these are kind of the main threats that we're dealing with right now. If you're in southern parts of Bexar County, this rain's going to continue to come down. As far as rainfall goes, we did see quite a bit of rainfall in the hill country overnight. Some issues with some roadways in Real County, some reports of roads underwater there. So there's going to be some issues throughout the hill country. And then Stinson now picking up about 0.8 of an inch. So that shows that we will get some ponding on the roadways here, too. Storms started to our north last night, clustered out west, and then we saw some additional development right along the front this morning. And that's where we sit right now. 81 degrees at the airport, 78 Stinson, 79 Kelly. And yes, some cooler areas moving in behind this frontal boundary. 70s, even some 60s showing up to our north there in the hill country. And dew points are starting to come down a little bit. Down 4 degrees there in Kerrville. Not a big difference, but just enough to where we may start to feel it a little bit this afternoon. Much drier air across North Texas and cooler temperatures up there as well. So our forecast today, we're going to keep the clouds in there. Just a slight chance of rain through the morning time, up to about 90 this afternoon. And the forecast keeps just an isolated shower or storm in the forecast during the afternoon hours. Here's the extended forecast. We're back in the heat tomorrow, back to the heat and humidity. So this is just a one-day thing. There may be some more rain chances showing up Sunday into Monday. And we'll take another look at the radar coming up here in just a few minutes as these showers and storms transition down to the south, guys.
So a one-day break.
A one-day break. That's it. That's all we can give you.
It's nice to hear the rain out here.
It does sound nice, doesn't it?
Yes.
Sounded like a typhoon there for
a little bit.
About 30 minutes.
Kind of makes you want to sleep in, though. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
But it was not a named storm. Thank you very much, Justin. 452, about 79 degrees.
And still ahead, details on a new partnership between Hollywood director Steven Spielberg and Netflix.
Let's take a look at your lottery numbers. Pick 3, 2, 9, 3, Fireball 4. Daily 4 number 0015, Fireball 1.
Cash 5, 14, 17, 24, 25, 26. And your Texas two-step 12, 23, 24, 34, bonus ball 11.
Steven Spielberg gets a new Netflix gig, plus Chris Pratt gets some advice from his father-in-law, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
So come forward now. A few years ago, director Steven Spielberg made the case that movies created for streaming services shouldn't be eligible for Oscars, saying he wanted to support the theatrical experience. So many were surprised to learn that the famous filmmaker is entering into a new partnership with streaming giant Netflix. Spielberg's Amblin production company will develop several movies a year for Netflix.
I will be back.
Chris Pratt says he got a key review for his new action movie, The Tomorrow War, from his father-in-law, a man who knows a little bit about action, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Pratt says Schwarzenegger watched the trailer for his new apocalyptic alien fighting movie and gave it his stamp of approval. Pratt is married to Schwarzenegger's daughter, Catherine. The Tomorrow War will stream on Amazon Prime Video in July.
Hey, Gunther.
Beloved Friends star James Michael Tyler, who played Gunther on the sitcom, has revealed that he has stage 4 prostate cancer and can no longer walk. The 59-year-old actor said his illness kept him from appearing in person at the Friends reunion special.
In September of 2018, I was diagnosed with advanced prostate cancer, which had spread to my bones.
Tyler told the Today Show on Monday that he is undergoing chemotherapy. And happy birthday to 3-time Academy Award winner Meryl Streep and singer Cyndi Lauper. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And time now is 4:57, and it's about 78 degrees out there.
Still ahead on GMSA tonight, the Senate scheduled to vote on a sweeping election reform bill. Why? Many say the measure has already failed.
Plus, the company is now developing electric aircrafts that would fly over traffic. Details coming up in Tech Bites.
Many Americans suffer from poor sleep, which can lead to early stages of dementia. Ahead on GMSA at 6 this morning, some tips for getting a better night's sleep.
And a quick look at the roads with TransGuide. There's Loop 410 at Jackson Keller. We have a situation going on there, and we're going to be checking in with Stephen Cavazos after the break.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Today, the Senate will hold a vote on voting rights. I'm Mike Ajachi reporting in Washington. Coming up, why the vote is poised to fail and what the White House is willing to do moving forward.
And taking a look out with live cam this morning, we are down to 78 degrees. We started at 80, pretty exciting. And out here of our KSAT studios, we heard the downpours.
That's right, big storms this morning, earlier in a second round just a short while ago, and it is affecting the roads. Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, the 22nd.
Thanks for joining us this morning. I hope you had a good evening yesterday. Complete opposite yesterday evening, very hot.
That's right, storms overnight as predicted, and as we said, it's the traffic situation is evolving by the minute. Stephen is standing by, but here's Justin with the latest on those storms.
Hey, good morning, guys. And I know the timing's not ideal because we're talking about the morning commute here, but this is exactly what we like to see. Good downpours, not a lot of severe weather. This is just good rain in most cases. Let's jump right to the radar and show you where that rain is. Stretching from Del Rio to San Antonio over towards Gonzales. But the heaviest of the rain right now is here in the city of San Antonio. And we'll zoom in a little bit closer. You can see where the activity is at this hour. Palo Alto College, Mitchell Lake, really the southern half of San Antonio along 1604 on the south side there of Bexar County, and then 410 here on the south side of San Antonio. Still some very heavy rain coming down. If you're watching us from Lackland, heavy rain still coming down there. We're also seeing lightning, thunder with all of this, so it's going to be a little bit loud. And we are concerned with some minor flooding in spots. No flash flood warnings or anything like that, but we're going to see some ponding on the roads. And with this rain coming down as quick as it is, there will be a few issues here and there. Look at some of these rainfall rates. We're talking this showing 6 inches per hour. Now, you're not going to get 6 inches because this is not going to fall for an hour, but there will be some spots where we could pick up a quick inch of rain. And as Stephen will tell you here in just a second, that is going to cause some issues on some of our freeways this morning. There's a look at the other big storm, and this is passed just to the south and west of Gonzales and is more or less moving south and west. If you're watching us from Smiley, you're going to get some heavy rain here within the next, I'd say, 15 to 20 minutes. And there's going to be some lightning with this as well. Actually, quite a bit of lightning. This is an electrical storm. Again, nothing severe. This is mostly just rain. You could see some gusty winds with this. And then out in Del Rio, we had some storms earlier. Those have pushed south. Looks like things are clearing out there. And we do have a frontal boundary moving through. It's not going to make an immediate difference, but we're starting to see a gradual change in temperatures and dew points. 77 degrees at the airport right now, 74 Boulevardy, 70 in Comfort. There's your change. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s to the north. Feels a lot better considering what we were looking at yesterday. We'll still keep some rain chances in a little bit later this morning, but a lot of this is going to start to push south. We'll see temperatures top out close to 90 this afternoon. A little bit cooler than yesterday, a little drier too. We're going to take a look ahead to tomorrow, which includes things heating back up, but that's coming up here in a few minutes. Let's get over to Stephen and talk traffic this morning. What are the issues on the roadways right now?
Well, Justin, lots of crashes. We're seeing some slowdowns, road closures. It's a mess right now if you're going to be heading out the door in the next few moments, but we got your back here. And let's show you what's happening right here. This is a view from Loop 410 at Jackson Keller, not too far from I-10. A crash that was reported a little bit earlier this morning. You can see that we do have our first responders that are out there working to clear that scene. A few cars right now on the roadway, but of course what we want to do is give our first responders room to get this scene clear, and especially with this rain, it doesn't make their job any easier. You can see that traffic is moving up there, but we want to give them plenty of room again to get everything situated right over there. Now, taking a look right here at that map, the crash is reported right here, Loop 410 westbound, right at Vance Jackson. It's not really causing any issues right now. Thankfully, it's still early enough to where we're not seeing major delays because of these crashes, but we are spotting them. Also, road closures. Now, this one is here at I-10 eastbound, right at Culebra. This 3 3 lanes are blocked right now, and actually this is on the lower level of I-10 due to some high water. You can see all that yellow on I-10 means that we are seeing some congestion already starting to build up, which is going to create a big issue if you're going to be heading out the door in the next few moments, heading down I-10. Of course, we wanted you to be very cautious this morning and use some, of course, caution, but you want to make sure that if you already are planning to leave, find an alternative route. We'll be looking at those alternative routes for you as well throughout the morning here on GMSA. Taking a look also, a crash right next to where these road closures are happening on Florida Street, not causing as many issues. But take a look at this. This is our road weather map that, again, we will continue to show you right here on GMSA. If you're familiar with this, you know all that green means that we do have wet roads, and all those wet roads stretch as far as to New Braunfels, down to Helotes coming down from I-10. We're seeing a lot of that, but further in, we're seeing a lot of this blue, which means that we have a lot of ponding right now. Now, while it's not clear what caused these crashes, take a look at where they're happening. The crash and lane closures are happening where that ponding is, and a little bit earlier we told you about 410, right where those wet roads are. So again, not clear what caused these crashes, but because of this rain, we want you to be safe if you're going to be hitting the roads in the next few moments. Taking a look at our inbound times, so things are still looking pretty good right now if you're going to be leaving in the next few moments. If you are coming in from Livonia, still a little yellow though, 25 minutes on 87 to the downtown San Antonio area. Coming in from 37, we're looking at 31 minutes from Floresville. And if you are coming in from Pleasanton, the 30-minute commute right now. But bringing it back here to TransGuide if we can one last time, I want to show you where we're having that road closure happening here on I-10 up. This is the upper level at Culebra, but the lower level right now is closed. Again, we'll be watching this closely and see how that may impact your morning drive. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephen. This evening, the U.S. Senate will hold a vote on voting rights, one of President Biden's most pressing issues in his legislative agenda.
But the bill, which will need the support of 10 Republicans, will likely fail, opening up a new discussion about the filibuster. ABC's Ike Ajachi joins us now from Washington with more.
Senate Democrats say the time is now to pass voting rights legislation.
Republican state legislatures are conducting the most sweeping attack on the right to vote since the beginning of Jim Crow.
This evening, the Senate is expected to vote to move forward on a sweeping election reform bill after 14 Republican-led states passed voting laws this year, including nearly 400 other bills already filed in 48 states.
They're not about election integrity. They're not about voter fraud.
In March, the House passed the For the People Act, which takes steps to expand absentee and early voting, as well as campaign finance reform, among other measures. Last week, West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin proposed a narrower compromise on that bill. His proposal includes a mandate of at least 15 days of early voting, requiring states to send absentee ballots to eligible voters, voter ID requirements, and officially recognizing Election Day as a public holiday. Progressive voting rights activist Stacey Abrams throwing her support behind his effort last week on CNN.
What Senator Manchin is putting forward are some basic building blocks that we need to ensure that democracy is accessible no matter your geography.
President Biden meeting separately with Senators Manchin and Kristen Sinema at the White House ahead of the vote. Still, Republicans are prepared to block the bill altogether.
It became the Stacey Abrams substitute, not the Joe Manchin substitute.
The bill will need the support of 10 Republicans. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki acknowledging that it will likely fail, reigniting the debate about ending the filibuster.
If the vote is unsuccessful tomorrow, we suspect it will prompt a new conversation about the path forward.
Now, that vote is expected early this evening. Using the current 60-vote requirement, Republicans have also blocked the passage of a bill that would have created an independent commission to investigate the attack on the Capitol. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington.
A federal jury has convicted a San Antonio man for his role in a COVID-19 related hoax back in April of last year. Evidence revealed during a trial showing that 40-year-old Christopher Charles Bettis posted 2 threatening messages on Facebook in which he claimed to have paid someone with COVID-19 to lick items at grocery stores in the San Antonio area. Reports show he was trying to scare people away from visiting the stores. The threat ended up being fake, but someone took a screenshot of the messages, which eventually made its way to the FBI for investigation. Bettis faces up to 5 years in federal prison for each of his 2 counts of perpetuating a hoax.
In case you missed it, the Texas Cavaliers River Parade rocked the Riverwalk last night during our Fiesta 2021 events.
Thousands came out to see the floats 26 months in the making. Now, the heat was a major talking point this year since Fiesta is happening now in June instead of April like it has in years past. However, parade goers say they're happy all the excitement is back, and there's much more Fiesta to come. We're looking forward to Fiesta de los Reyes and Niosa tonight. For a complete list of all the upcoming events, we've got you covered on our website at KSAT.com.
VIA has you covered too. They've announced the return of Fiesta Park and Ride service just in time for Niosa, though not as extensive in years past. Service will run from Crossroads Park and Ride and Madla Transit Center near Zarzamore and I-35. They'll then drop off people on Market Street near the Convention Center. Service will be this evening from 5 to 11. It runs through Friday. Masks are required. Tickets are $5 round trip. It can be purchased at ticket booths and the VIA Go mobile app.
And time now is 5:10 and it's about 77 degrees out there.
Well, still ahead, a first look at Facebook's Clubhouse competitor, now officially rolling out here in the United States.
And also next, details on a new study and new legislation on a product you may use every day that has been linked to cancer, thyroid disease, and liver damage.
Outside with live cam, if you're just now waking up, we've got showers and thunderstorms in the area. It's put down a lot of rain in the last hour or so, and that is making a mess of the very early morning commute. But Justin and Stephen are on top of things. We have a live update coming up. It is something many of us use every day. A new study found some makeup may contain potentially toxic chemicals.
Researchers looked at 231 makeup products sold in the U.S. and Canada. They found high levels of PFAS, which is a nonstick substance, in 52% of them.
A senior scientist from the Environmental Working Group, or EWG, says the most common PFA is an ingredient known commonly as Teflon, coating on like cooking pans. PFAs have been linked to cancer, thyroid disease, liver damage, decreased fertility, and hormone disruption.
The highest level of PFAS markers were found in foundations, waterproof mascara, and long-lasting lipsticks. The CDC reported in 2015 that PFAS are so widespread that levels have been detected in the blood of 97% of Americans. Wow. And so the No PFAS Cosmetic Act was introduced in the U.S. House and Senate this past Tuesday. It would direct the FDA to issue a proposed rule banning the intentional addition of PFAS in cosmetics.
We'll keep you updated right now, 5:14 on a busy Tuesday morning.
And how a company is developing an all-electric air taxi that lets you fly over traffic.
People today, they could spend half their lives over 50. That's a lot of living. So it helps to have a wise friend and fierce defender in your corner. A friend like AARP. So your health lives longer.
This is just slow-mo karate?
Just slow-mo karate. Your money lives longer.
I just bought that. I just sold that.
And your happiness lives longer. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP. Join today.
Got under the things to do in this world. I love myself.
If you feel like you're chugging all day long, start sipping for a change. Try Lipton Herbal Iced Tea and naturally caffeine-free flavors that won't rush you through your day or night. Lipton. Stop chugging. Start sipping.
Introducing Aleve X. It's fast, powerful, long-lasting relief with a revolutionary rollerball design. Because with the right pain reliever, life opens up. Aleve it and see what's possible.
In today's Tech Bites, Facebook is rolling out its new feature to compete with Clubhouse. Facebook's live audio rooms will initially allow some public figures and groups to host rooms through its app. Up to 50 people will be able to speak at once, and unlike Clubhouse, there's not a limit on the number of listeners. Steven Spielberg is teaming up with Netflix. The filmmaker's Amblin Partners has signed a multi-film deal with the streaming service. The partnership comes 2 years after Spielberg backed changes to remove Netflix films from Academy Awards consideration. Finally, that small aircraft there could be the air taxi of the near future. It's electric, can carry 4 people, and has a pilot and a range of 150 miles. The company behind the air taxi says it will be ready for use in Los Angeles by 2024. LA is perfect since the idea sounds like it came from a Hollywood movie studio. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Time check, it's 5:20.
Let's check in with Stephen Cavazos about that situation on Loop 410 and Jackson Keller Road.
Yeah, that's right, Stephanie. And you're not right. Vance Jackson is actually where that crash was reported, but this is a view from Loop 410 at Jackson Keller. As you can see right here, it doesn't look like it's improved that much since we last spoke to you guys. But again, we do have our emergency crews that are out there working to clear that scene, working through some of the elements today, which is all that rain that we've been seeing throughout the morning here. But of course, we want to be extra cautious if we're heading out the door. A lot of crashes have been reported, closures. So let's go ahead and get to our maps and show you what's happening right now. This particular crash, Loop 410 westbound, right at Vance Jackson, as Stephanie said, a crash that is not causing a lot of delays at this hour. Again, still very early to where we're not seeing a lot of issues like delays on the road, but we are spotting some closures. Let's go ahead and jump to one of those where it's happening. Actually, a second crash that we want to report that's not too far from there. Loop 410 eastbound at I-10 near Hillcrest. This one causing a little bit of a delay. Pardon me. You see a little bit of that yellow obviously indicates that we do have some congestion that's happening there already in the wee hours of this morning. So for our early morning commuters, this is what's going to be a big problem if you're heading out the door in the next few moments. Now, we do want to get to those closures as we just mentioned. I-10 lower level at Culebra is closed. This is in the eastbound area. This is due to some high water that was reported out there. And you can see right in these lanes of I-10, we're starting to see that traffic build as well. Not that many delays, of course, but we are starting to see them build as the morning does pick up where these crashes and closures are being reported. Another crash not too far from there, right near Fredericksburg, not causing any issues right now, but take a look at where another crash has just happened here off I-35 northbound right at 37. Our system picked it up right over here. This one just popped up, of course, but we're going to be watching that one pretty closely. So as the morning does pick up and this weather continues, we could see more of these issues. But take a look at where these crashes happened. Again, not too clear what caused them, but taking a look, they all occurred around where we're seeing some ponding and some wet roads. So of course, if you're going to be heading out in the next few moments, ponding and wet roads are what you're going to want to keep a close eye out for, and be sure to give your fellow drivers some extra room and be courteous on the roadways this morning as we are dealing with some of the elements that are impacting our morning commute. Bringing it back here to 410 at Jackson Keller. It's just been a busy morning, guys.
Stephen, thank you very much, sir. You're a busy man this morning, and this rain is still coming down in a lot of spots. We've seen some heavy rain, especially across southern parts of Bexar County, and this is still falling. At last check, we did see some estimates up over an inch. So this is good news. We just don't want the flooding here. Let's zoom in a little bit closer. And in general, this swath of rain is pushing south. You can see where the heavier pockets are. Still just to the west of downtown. Seeing a nice little pocket of heavy rain there just north of Lackland along 151. Seeing another dose of rain there, and just to the west of downtown, as I mentioned, too, another little area of rain. Mitchell Lake, rain's really coming down there as well. Rainfall rates have been up around 4 inches in some cases, 4 inches per hour. Now, it's not going to rain for a whole hour, so you're not going to get 4 inches, but I wouldn't be surprised if we got 2 inches in a couple of isolated spots. Elmendorf, Calaveras Lake, rain's starting to end there. Elmendorf, same story. And now this is pushing down to the south. Poteet, you're next in line to get some good heavy rain as this moves south and southwest. Now let me zoom out some because we want to cover what's going on here in Guadalupe County and Wilson County as well. Another area of rain, it came out of Gonzales, a lot of lightning with this. So this is very electrical. It's going to be very loud. Smiley's getting in on the rain. This is starting to move towards Stockdale, Sutherland Springs, and will eventually work towards Floresville. Probably will take another 45 minutes or so before it hits you there in Floresville. And again, none of this is severe. It's just good heavy rain. And very quickly, we're going to take a look at some of the rainfall rates here. I mentioned some of those. And where you see some of those purples, that's where the heaviest of the rainfall rates are right now. And that's basically the southern Bexar County as you move south into Atascosa County. We'll take a look at what those rates look like, about 5 inches per hour. So that is going to cause a little bit of flooding. We've seen some minor street flooding, as Stephen pointed out. Let's go outside for you real quick. We've got rain coming down, 77 degrees. Temperatures are starting to come down at least a little bit, thanks to that frontal boundary. 60s and 70s to the north, and dew points starting to come down a little bit too, 60s and 70s, which still high, but better than it was yesterday. I think in general we'll see an improvement, some cooler temperatures trying to work in from North Texas. And we'll see forecast temperatures today only make it up to about 90 or so. with some partly cloudy skies. Still can't rule out an isolated shower or storm a little bit later today south of San Antonio. Extended forecast, 95 tomorrow, 96 Thursday. We'll get some heat by the end of the week. We'll be right back.
No way. So how do y'all want to play this?
Fast. Sung Kang is red hot, returning to the Fast and Furious franchise in F9 and joining the Star Wars universe in the cast of the TV series Obi-Wan.
I'm in it. Yes. So excited. Bucket list. I used to dress up in the plastic Halloween suits when I was a little kid, the Halloween costumes. Which character? Both, Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader.
This Atlanta house is part of hip-hop history. The dungeon is where Grammy winners Outkast got their start. Now, a few lucky fans can stay there through Airbnb and even record their own tunes in the state-of-the-art in-home studio. Bookings open Friday at airbnb.com/Black Music Month.
For 600 years, our ninja have brought peace to the world. I believe in you.
What do I have to do?
Here's your latest look at Snake Eyes. Henry Golding from Crazy Rich Asians stars as a loner who's welcomed into an ancient Japanese clan until secrets from his past are revealed. Snake Eyes hits theaters July 23rd. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
And time now is 5:29 and about 75 degrees right now.
Still ahead on GMSA, more and more COVID cases being diagnosed as the Delta variant of the virus. What health experts are saying about these newest cases.
And ahead on GMSA at 6, we have the details in a landmark Supreme Court ruling regarding whether or not student athletes can be paid for their services.
Making headlines this morning, an update on the Delta variant of the coronavirus and what health professionals say people can do to avoid it.
And taking a look out with LiveCam, we had quite a bit of rain overnight and then downpours at our KSAT studios earlier this morning.
Yeah, we've got heavy rain down in the Lackland area as of last half hour. Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, the 22nd of June.
Thanks for joining us today on our second full day of the full Fiesta week.
And second full day of summer 2021.
How appropriate. They go hand in hand, right?
Right.
Well,
we're figuring this out on the fly.
Yes, we are.
There's lots going on in the weather and traffic department, so let's check in with our department managers this morning.
Hey there, guys. Yes, some rain. This is the payoff from all that heat and humidity yesterday. Had a front come through this morning, kicked off the showers and storms. And the rainfall's been pretty widespread. Thankfully, it's just been that rainfall, not a lot of severe weather, and that's what we like to see. Let's zoom in a little bit closer on where the heavy rain is right now. We've got a nice swath moving from Gonzales County into Wilson County, and then still here in San Antonio as you go south of downtown. Heavy rain coming down. Not as heavy as it was, but it's still there. Let's look at downtown San Antonio, which is right here. We're going to go west of that and getting some good heavy rain along 151 and along Highway 90. So if you're headed into work, you're going to run into this heavier rain. You're going to have to turn those windshield wipers on high probably because these downpours had a history of coming down pretty good. And as we look at the southern part of San Antonio here at Palo Alto College, rain's trying to calm down a little bit there. McDonough out towards Lacoste, you're still getting some of those heavier downpours. And then as we move south towards Poteet, the rain is on your doorstep, and that's some pretty heavy rain that's going to be moving in here probably within the next 10 minutes or so. We've also got that heavier rain, as I mentioned, working into Atascosa County now. Wilson County, I should say. Stockdale, rain is right on your doorstep. In fact, it's coming down right now. Sutherland Springs, the rain is through Gonzales. But this area of rain, very electrical, a lot of lightning with this, especially as you get back into Gonzales County there along Highway 87. Some very heavy rain at this hour. Again, the big picture, the rain that was out west this morning that produced the very heavy rain in the hill country moving away. And temperatures are trying to come down a little bit. We were stuck at 80 for a while until the rain came in, and now we're seeing 70s on the map. Dew points will come down a little bit today thanks to this front, and temperatures should only top out at about 90 or so. Great change And this rain will push south a little bit later this morning. We'll see things quiet down this afternoon, but certainly not quiet on the roadways right now. Steven's been tracking it all. Where are the issues right now?
You know, something that drivers are going to want to pack aside from their umbrella, Justin, is their patience. We're seeing a lot of issues right here along 35 northbound. This is a view from the upper level, southbound that is, right at Main. You can see traffic is starting to build. Almost looks like a Christmas tree out there because of all those blinking lights. That's because we do have a crash that was reported right in that area that's causing a lot of delays right now for drivers in the downtown area. Taking a look at where that crash is reported now, our system is picking it up right here at I-35 northbound at Austin Street. KSAT is reporting it a little bit further in, right past North Main Avenue. Either way, traffic is building right here along I-35 north, where you can see that red and that orange. Just means that we are starting to see that traffic build up due to these crashes that are starting to be reported because of likely this rainfall that we've been seeing over the last few hours or so. Another crash that we have here right at Loop 410 westbound at Vance Jackson. This one's been there for quite a while. Looks like it may have cleared. We're not seeing it anymore on TransGuide, but our system still shows that it's there. Roads are looking pretty green in that area, so no major issues to report as far as that crash goes. But we are starting to see a little bit of congestion right here along Loop 410 eastbound, right at I-10 near Hillcrest. Another crash reported right there that is causing, again, a little bit of delays for our drivers that are heading in that direction. So crashes and closures are the big thing right now. This closure is still happening here off I-10 lower level, close to Culebra. Now, we are seeing a little bit of yellow there due to the congestion. Now, TransGuide has showed us that there is a lower level that is closed right now due to some high water, and that has been the big issue. Now, where these crashes and closures are happening is actually where we're starting to see a lot of that ponding and wet roads that are still out there. I know Justin was talking about how we definitely needed that rain, but you know, this is definitely also causing some issues for our early morning commuters. You can see we still have a lot of ponding right towards Elmendorf and Von Ormy, and still some wet roads right near Leon Valley and Converse. So it hasn't dried up just yet, guys. So you're going to want to be extra cautious. Both hands on the wheel is always a good idea. Bringing it back here to this mess at I-35 where traffic just continues to build. This is going to be the big one right now, guys.
Thank you, Stephen. Delta could soon dominate in the U.S. This morning, that variant has already shown up in nearly every state in the country.
CNN's Brett Conway has more from people who've seen a Delta surge up close.
We never imagined this big of an increase.
But that was before the Delta variant.
Maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, it was maybe 10% of those isolates that were sequenced. And as of last week, it appeared to be 90%.
The CEO of Cox Health, a healthcare system based in Springfield, Missouri, says they've seen a 6-fold increase in COVID-19 hospitalizations.
We're seeing younger patients. We're seeing them sicker.
He says low vaccination rates provide kindling.
Almost all of our cases are unvaccinated people.
And he says his staff is exhausted.
It's harder to know that you're risking your well-being for someone that chose not to vaccinate, that then puts both them and you at risk.
In Manatee County, Florida, 2 people are dead and 4 were hospitalized after a COVID-19 outbreak at a government office building. One person who worked in the same IT office did not catch the virus. That person was vaccinated. This county administrator worries the Delta variant could be to blame here.
The clinical presentation gives me concern that we're dealing with a very infectious variant that is quite deadly.
And according to a new study by scientists at Helix, it's growing faster in counties with lower vaccination rates. One concerning factor putting Delta on track to become dominant. I'm Britt Conway reporting.
A former high school teacher from Sheldon ISD northeast of Houston has been charged with 2 counts of sexual assault of a child under 17 years of age. According to court records, Katrina Louisa Maxwell started having a sexual relationship with a 16-year-old male student during spring break in March and April. The district became aware of the relationship between Maxwell and the student when a district employee noticed Maxwell's behavior with the student. According to records, the employee also reported a second incident where Maxwell is accused of throwing a pair of scissors at the student's head for sitting next to his girlfriend. Sheldon Independent School District says Maxwell was fired for having an improper relationship with a student.
There's been a surge of Americans getting health insurance coverage from the federal government since pandemic began. According to the data release, a record-setting 80.5 million Americans enrolled in Medicaid or the Children's Health Insurance Program. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services said Medicaid enrollment rose by nearly 10 million people between February of 2020 and January of this year. That's a hike of just over 15%. During that same time frame, the number of children joining CHIP increased by at least 2%.
And time now is 5:40, and we are now at 75 degrees.
Still ahead on GMSA, another excuse to enjoy an extra cup of coffee this morning. What a new study is saying about the benefit coffee has on your liver.
Also up next, details on a heart condition that's seeing a spike in cases involving children that could be linked to COVID vaccinations.
And outside with live cam on your early Tuesday morning. Some pretty active showers and thunderstorms still in the KSAT 12 viewing area. Justin Horn is tracking those for you, as well as that cold front. More to come. 5:43, the CDC investigating an increase in reports of a cardiac condition in young people who have gotten a COVID-19 vaccine.
While a link between the two has not been confirmed, the reports can be worrisome for some parents. CNN's Mandy Gaither explains the condition and has more from health professionals.
It's a condition called myocarditis, an inflammation of the heart muscle. The body's immune system causes the swelling in response to an infection or some other trigger. Since April, the CDC says more cases of myocarditis have been reported in the U.S., especially in young people who have gotten either the Moderna or Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine.
These are very rare cases, and in addition, they are mild.
The CDC says most myocarditis cases have been in males 16 years and older, the onset typically within several days after a Pfizer or Moderna vaccination. Cases have appeared more often after the second dose than the first. Symptoms can include chest pain, shortness of breath, or palpitations. In most cases, the CDC says patients who have gotten myocarditis have responded well to medications and rest.
To our knowledge, no one has died from this heart inflammation. It tends to be transitory, so it lasts for a period of time, but then it goes away and people generally fully recover.
While the CDC is still investigating these cases, some parents may be concerned about their child getting vaccinated. However, U.S. health experts say COVID-19 should scare you more.
For kids 12 and older who are eligible to receive the vaccine, if I had a child in this age range, I would absolutely get them vaccinated today.
The CDC continues to recommend COVID-19 vaccination for everyone 12 years of age and older. The agency's director saying the benefits of vaccination overwhelm the rare risk of myocarditis. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
5:45, about 75 degrees.
Coming up next, details on the new child tax credit that's set to roll out in a few weeks. And welcome back. It's about 5:47 in your morning consumer headlines. New child tax credits set to roll out next month could help get more Americans back to work. Millions of eligible parents will get up to $300 a month for an entire year. In total, parents who qualify will receive $3,600 per child under 6 and $3,000 per child under 18 this year. Child tax credit payments will be based on 2020 tax returns.
Delta Airlines plans to hire more than 1,000 pilots. In a company memo, Delta's head of flight ops said the airline needs to foster a strong pipeline of pilot candidates to support future demand. Delta is expected to hire new pilots by next summer. The Transportation Security Administration says it just screened 2.1 million people at airports across the country last Sunday. That's the most since March 7th of 2020.
Your next cup of coffee could be doing your liver a favor. That's according to a new study. It showed that regular coffee drinkers are 21% less likely to develop chronic liver disease and 49% less likely to die from it. The study says the benefits apply to both regular coffee and decaf, but less to instant coffee. The study adds to the growing list of health benefits of coffee, which include lowering the risk of type 2 diabetes and Parkinson's disease.
We now have the healthiest livers in our families.
Yes, we do. I'm very very, very healthy there.
A healthy intake. 5:49 on your Tuesday morning.
Yeah, I'll check in with Steven. He also has a new coffee maker, so he'll have a healthy one.
Yeah,
as
you know
well.
what? All that coffee is helping us keep track with all these major crashes that are happening this morning. This is one that's happening that we told you about here at 35 at Main. You can see here, traffic continues to build. It almost looks like 5 p.m. rush hour. We're not even at 6 a.m. right now, so people are just getting out the door, but they're also facing some big delays right now. And this is because of a crash that was reported here. Let's bring you to our maps now. We're actually picking it up here at I-35 northbound at North Main. You can see where that red and yellow continues to build there, indicating all that congestion that you just saw, and of course creating a lot of headaches for drivers this morning. We know that we've been experiencing some weather out in the area, and of course we are starting to see lots of crashes, lots of closures, but as things are clearing up, we're starting to see new crashes that are popping up. Let's go ahead and bring you to one that's happening here off I-10 eastbound at US 87 Roland Avenue. Here on the eastbound lanes of I-10, you can see that this one's starting to be an issue for our early morning commuters in that area, where traffic again continuing to build because of this crash. Bringing you to another crash we've been watching here off Loop 410 eastbound and I-10 near Hillcrest, not causing very many issues. This may have just cleared right now, so that's a good sign. Progress that we're starting to see now that the morning is ramping up and we're seeing more people get out on the roads. This is a good sign. But we know we still see a lot of wet roads out in the area where these crashes have been reported. All that green, of course, as we've mentioned, if you're familiar with our road map, that does mean that we do have wet roads, and the blue means that we do have ponding, and that's where we've seen most of these crashes this morning and closures that have been reported. So take it easy, use some extra cautions, both hands on the wheel, guys, and of course be courteous to your extra drivers. But this just continues to build, looking like quite the mess right now. Definitely going to want to pack your patience with that umbrella.
Stephen, thank you. And my hope is that things will calm down a little bit as we get more into the morning commute this morning. Things are already looking a little bit better here across parts of Bexar County. There are flood advisories, though, that have been posted by the National Weather Service, and that's because we've seen up to 2 inches of rain in some cases here across southern Bexar County. But you notice the radar is significantly quieter than what we were looking at just an hour ago. The heaviest storm we have right now is in Wilson County, and this is working its way toward Floresville. Should be there within the next 15 minutes or so. And you can see around Stockdale, rain's really heavy there along 97. And then as you get up towards Sutherland Springs, same story. Where you see some of these purple colors, that is some really heavy rain. We've seen rainfall rates up to 4 inches per hour this morning, and that's why we're seeing some of these bigger rainfall totals around the area. A lot of lightning strikes here too. And as I mentioned, Floresville and Poth, you're next in line. In fact, the 181 corridor there, stretching from San Antonio down to Falls City, you're going to be in for some rain as this area moves in. Still some light rain too south of San Antonio, moving into Poteet, although that storm starting to die down a little bit. Jordan, Pleasanton seeing some rain, but most of that is fairly light at the moment. And we don't want to forget about some of our southeastern counties here seeing some rain. Victoria stretching to Kennedy, also seeing a little bit of light rain there around Cuero. The main takeaway here is most of the rain here in San Antonio starting to quiet down some. It was pretty busy about an hour ago, but looking better. Here's a look at the observed rainfall numbers, and we had some bigger storms earlier across parts of the hill country. And look at these numbers, 4.58 inches in northern parts of Real County. Some reports of roads underwater there. Shouldn't be a big issue through the day. I think things will get better, but this morning, especially with it being dark, you don't want to take any chances. Kerrville, about an inch of rain. They did have a severe thunderstorm warning much earlier this morning. And then Del Rio, 1.73, Stinson, 1.76, and starting to get some big numbers around Gonzales and Luling as well. There's the scene outside, wet roads, 76 degrees, still some light rain coming down at the airport. East-northeasterly winds at about 7. And temperatures in the 70s. Which is a little better than yesterday. If you remember, we were sitting at 80, so this is a slight improvement, this frontal boundary that's moving through and kicking off these showers and storms, dropping temperatures ever so slightly, also dropping that dew point some, which will help us out today. Dew points are down 4, 5, 6 degrees in some cases this morning. So our forecast calls for temperatures up around 90 degrees this afternoon. Rain chances will taper off, although we can't rule out an isolated storm a little bit later this afternoon. But I think anything we see later today will probably be a little bit closer to the coast. You see the scene there around 4 o'clock. And then as we go into tonight, things will start to fade away. The extended forecast, hot and humid. That returns tomorrow, and that'll be the case all the way into the early part of the weekend before more rain chances return Sunday into Monday. We'll be right back.
About a year ago, we released the very first episode of KSAT Explains, from an interrogation on the myths surrounding the Battle of the Alamo to a look at our city's history and future as a beer town. The show has covered a lot of turf in the last 12 months. To mark KSAT Explains' first anniversary, our team is sharing what they've learned while working on the show. 1 year of KSAT Explains will be live streamed tonight at 7 on KSAT's Facebook page, KSAT.com, and on our streaming app. Still to come on GMSA in our next hour, a suspect in connection with multiple San Antonio robberies is now in jail. Spurs assistant coach Becky Hammond could be getting closer to landing an NBA head coaching gig in another city. We'll tell you where she is a finalist. Plus, we've got the latest on fire over on the city's northeast side. Katrina Weber is standing by with a live report. And the morning commute is off to a very rough start. Case in point, 35 near Main Street here in the downtown area. Stephen Cavazos will have that. And Justin has your forecast. We've had storms pretty much all night long. We'll be back. A massive fire burning in the Arizona desert. We'll have the latest.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, we are at a nice 75 degrees after being in the 80s when we started this show. We had a lot of rain, and that's causing some problems on the roadways.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Well, if you're just now waking up, you've missed a lot. Good morning. It is Tuesday. It is June 22nd.
Thanks for joining us. Yes, we got to witness heavy downpours right outside of our KSAT studios.
Oh, and a lot of lightning in some of these storms. Let's get right to traffic and weather, get you up to date. Justin Horn in for Mike Osterhage, and Justin's here with the latest.
Yeah, we're still tracking those storms this morning, guys. And here's the takeaway. A lot of the heavy rain has moved out of San Antonio. We were looking at that about an hour ago. And in fact, a flood advisory was posted for southern parts of San Antonio, where we picked up close to 2 inches of rain. We saw that around Stinson. It did cause some problems on some of those low-lying areas on the roadways. Looks like it will get better because these storms really are starting to move out. We do have one area, though, that we're still watching in Wilson County here. Some pretty heavy rain that's stretching from Stockdale down to Floresville, Poth. It's about to move into your neck of the woods, too. Atkins, you're seeing some of that heavy rain. This little edge of rain here will probably sweep through southeastern parts of San Antonio, too. So we're not completely done with the rain, but most of the city has seen the heavy rain pass by here. Still some storms down there around Poteet as well. And a lot of lightning strikes with this area of rain as it does move south and southwest. Also still seeing a few light returns there on the west side of San Antonio up around Leon Valley. And then down to the south, places like Karn City, Kennedy, Runge, still seeing some pretty heavy rain, too, with some lightning strikes there. This has been pretty widespread and mostly just rain. We haven't had a whole lot of reports of severe weather, and that's great news. That's exactly what we want to see as our frontal boundary moves through a rare June front. Now, it's not going to cool us down a whole lot, but it will take us down from where we were yesterday, where we saw those brutally hot temperatures. We're at 76 right now, 70 Comfort, 72 Bernie Stage. And as we look north, 68 Rock Springs, 72 in Junction. Those are some nice numbers. And we'll see a little bit less in the way of humidity today as well. We'll keep some rain chances in through the morning time. I think as we get into the afternoon, if we're going to see any rain, it's probably going to be closer to the coast. And we'll top out right around 90. Again, an improvement from yesterday. It looks like things are trying to improve maybe on some of the roadways. Let's check in with Steven now. How's it looking?
Yeah, definitely a little bit of an improvement, but a slow improvement. Justin, we're taking a look here at 35 southbound at Main. This is a view from TransGuide. Lots of traffic building at these hour, guys. You know, that's because we've had a lot of crashes overnight that we've been tracking here in the traffic lab. This one, though, is going to be the big one right now. Take a look here at our maps. This is I-35 northbound at North Main is where TxDOT is reporting that crash. Lots of red, orange, yellow, meaning that we do have a lot of slowdowns that are happening as a result of this crash. Again, not clear what's caused this crash, but we're seeing more of these as that rain had trickled in overnight, which of course we know tends to mean that the roads are going to be very wet and which could also lead to crashes. Another crash that we're watching closely here that is starting to cause a little bit of buildup, I-37 or I-10 eastbound, that is at US 87 at Roland Avenue. You can see traffic in those eastbound lanes of I-10 starting to build as well. Now, as we've been mentioning, while it's not clear what what caused these crashes. Take a look at where they happened. Again, our road weather map shows that these crashes have occurred in areas where there's either been ponding or some wet roads. Again, this green does mean that we do have some wet roads still in our areas out towards Live Oak and Converse. We're seeing some ponding out towards Elmendorf and Von Ormy. A little bit of more wet roads out toward Castroville, and coming in from 90, you're going to want to be extra cautious because that's where we're seeing more of that ponding as well if you're coming into the downtown San Antonio area. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at these inbound times. If you are coming in from 90 from Castroville, right now things are still 19 minutes. Coming in from Bernie on I-10, we got 24 minutes. And if you are coming in from Bulverde, we have about a 25-minute commute on 281, guys. But again, this is going to be the big one that we're watching here. I-35 southbound at Maine is a view from TransGuide, but again, this crash reported in these northbound lanes, leading to lots of delays for drivers, but we got your back and we'll be watching it closely right here on GMSA. Mark Stephanie.
Thank you, Steve. Let's get to the news. Some people in Northeast Bexar County may owe their lives to a stroke of luck. Firefighters say they somehow woke up when fire broke out, even though they had no working smoke detectors in their home.
It happened in the 8300 block of Greenham near Montgomery Drive. Our Katrina Weber is there with a live report. Now, Katrina, we understand the people initially tried to put out the fire themselves.
Now, firefighters say that they were using a garden hose trying to beat back the flames, but at the same time, they had also called 911, so there were no delays because of that. But this home did sustain quite a bit of damage to at least one bedroom. Let me give you a look at the video. The residents woke up around 2 this morning, a little bit after 2, according to firefighters, found a fire in the bedroom where one person was sleeping. They woke up because of the smoke. They started, again, attacking it with a garden hose, but also calling 911. Firefighters got here. They did find flames coming out of the back of the house. They were able to knock it down rather quickly. Now, Bexar County firefighters were the lead agency out here, but they did have to call in for help from other agencies, including Windcrest. And they say that is because the fire was very intense in terms of the heat, plus the heat out here, the weather, so they were affected by some of that. Some of the firefighters were, but they did not require any hospitalization. They were able to recover rather quickly. One of the people who lives in the home did have to go to the hospital. He had a cut on his hand from when he was trying to put out the fire, cut his hand on some glass. But again, the damage mostly contained to the one bedroom, but they do say that the damage is estimated at about $60,000. Reporting live in Northeast Bexar County, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thank you, Katrina. A suspect caught on camera at the scene of multiple robberies is now in police custody. The San Antonio Police Department's robbery task force arrested 28-year-old Eric Mora over the weekend. He's accused of robbing a restaurant on Fredericksburg Road. He's also suspected of taking part in a June 10th robbery of a bank on Woodlawn Avenue, as well as a game store robbery off of Loop 1604 2 days later. Now, police say Mora can be seen in the footage showing threatening notes to employees. During their investigation, police say they discovered Mora's vehicle, which led them to him.
Topping your morning headlines, Texas Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller is seeking re-election. That announcement puts an end to speculation he might be challenging Governor Greg Abbott in the race for governor. Miller viewed as a potential challenger for the top spot following his vocal criticism of the governor's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. He's in his second term as Ag Commissioner. This evening, the Senate will hold a vote on the voting rights, one of President Biden's most pressing issues in his legislative agenda.
But the bill, which will need the support of 10 Republicans, will likely fail, opening up a new discussion about the filibuster. ABC's Ika Jachi joins us now from Washington with more.
Senate Democrats say the time is now to pass voting rights legislation.
Republican state legislatures are conducting the most sweeping attack on the right to vote since the beginning of Jim Crow.
This evening, the Senate is expected to vote to move forward on a sweeping election reform bill after 14 Republican-led states passed voting laws this year, including nearly 400 other bills already filed in 48 states.
They're not about election integrity. They're not about voter fraud.
In March, the House passed the For the People Act, which takes steps to expand absentee and early voting, as well as campaign finance reform, among other measures. Last week, West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin proposed a narrower compromise on that bill. His proposal includes a mandate of at least 15 days of early voting, requiring states to send absentee ballots to eligible voters, voter ID requirements, and officially recognizing Election Day as a public holiday. Progressive voting rights activist Stacey Abrams throwing showing her support behind his effort last week on CNN.
What Senator Manchin is putting forward are some basic building blocks that we need to ensure that democracy is accessible no matter your geography.
President Biden meeting separately with Senators Manchin and Kristen Sinema at the White House ahead of the vote. Still, Republicans are prepared to block the bill altogether.
It became the Stacey Abrams substitute, not the Joe Manchin substitute.
The bill will need the support of 10 Republicans. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki acknowledging that it will likely fail, reigniting the debate about ending the filibuster.
If the vote is unsuccessful tomorrow, we suspect it will prompt a new conversation about the path forward.
Now, that vote is expected early this evening. Using the current 60-vote requirement, Republicans have also blocked the passage of a bill that would have created an independent commission to investigate the attack on the Capitol. Ika Jachi, ABC News, Washington.
A massive wildfire in Arizona continues to burn, exploding to nearly 20,000 acres. The Rafael fire is believed to have been sparked on Friday by lightning from what are called dry thunderstorms. Those are conventional thunderstorms with no rain of note down at ground level. Several communities just outside of Flagstaff are being told to be ready to evacuate. So far, there have been no reports of any injuries.
And time now, it's about 6:09 and 75 degrees.
Still ahead on GMSA, a landmark Supreme Court ruling for college athletes regarding whether they can get paid for their services. We have the details.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning. Boy, it got hot yesterday, but today we are seeing the rain, well, at least early this morning. We're going to be checking in with Justin later on.
Good morning, welcome back. Time for Morning Sports. Spurs assistant coach Becky Hammon, a finalist for the vacant head coaching job in Portland. According to ESPN, Clippers assistant Chauncey Billups will be one of the candidates who will also be getting a second interview with the Trailblazers. Becky's trying to become the first female head coach in the history of the NBA. And with 7 vacancies so far this offseason, this season, her chances are increasing. Hey, the Spurs will participate in the Salt Lake City Summer League between August 3rd and 6th at Vivint Smart Arena. This marks the return of Summer League after the pandemic wiped out last year's scrimmages. League features a 4-team, 6-game format that will not only include the Spurs, but also the Memphis Grizzlies and 2 teams representing the Jazz. Each team will play 3 games as part of daily doubleheaders starting on that Tuesday. Kevin Durant coming off a historic playoff performance for the Nets, who recorded 48 points in 53 minutes in Brooklyn's 115-111 overtime loss to Milwaukee. But KD doesn't want to stop. According to The Athletic, Durant will suit up for Team USA to compete in the delayed 2020 Tokyo Olympics. He is by far the biggest name that has emerged in Greg Popovich's first year of leading the U.S. men's basketball team that will also feature Devin Booker, who's committed even though he is in the middle of trying to push the Suns to the NBA Finals. KD's Nets teammate James Harden says he's in as well. Training camp begins July 6th in Vegas before departing for Tokyo, where the games will begin coming up on July 23rd. San Antonio Mission starting up a new series tonight after ending the last series against the Naturals with a loss. This time they're on the road taking on the Frisco Rough Riders. First pitch is set for 7:05. It is do or die for Longhorns baseball. Texas set to face Tennessee in the losers bracket later today at the College World Series in Omaha. It's after losing a pitcher's duel in the first round to Mississippi State. Today's game set for 1 p.m. You can watch it on ESPNU. Today's winner extends its stay in Omaha for the loser. The offseason begins.
A landmark ruling by the Supreme Court concerning college athletes and whether they can get paid.
The impact of this decision could be far-reaching, but as you're about to hear, some players argue it's not enough. ABC's Andrew Dimbert has details.
Expect the unexpected! This morning, the biggest stars in college sports reacting after a blowout win for student athletes. The Supreme Court ruling unanimously against the NCAA and in favor of allowing compensation for collegiate athletes. Justice Brett Kavanaugh writing, the NCAA's business model would be flatly illegal in almost any other industry in America. The NCAA is not above the law.
This is really important to all student athletes, just because it hasn't, no legislation has done this for us ever.
The court ruling supports increased educational payments for athletes while also barring restrictions on compensation put in place by the NCAA. Those expanded educational payments or benefits include postgraduate scholarships, paid internships, study abroad, computers, and musical instruments. The court stopped short of allowing outright payment of salaries to players, but in a statement, the NCAA said it remains free to articulate what are and are not truly educational benefits. Experts say it could be only a matter of time before restrictions on salaries and other forms of compensation are also struck down.
The reasoning in the court's opinion is so strong, it's essentially suggesting that all of the limits on compensation for collegiate athletes are now up for grabs.
Oregon basketball player Sedona Prince is part of a separate lawsuit fighting for student athletes to be allowed to use their name and likeness for endorsement deals. She says there's more that needs to be done.
I really want to push for us to be treated like adults and to have this freedom of we can now do what we want with our brands. The Supreme Court decision was amazing. It was a huge step, but it wasn't enough.
Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Good morning, everyone. Well, it is a slow morning, and by that we mean traffic is slow right now. If you can see right here at 35 at Main, it's not moving very much right now. A little bit slow, as we just mentioned. We've been talking about this. This is all because of a major crash that happened overnight. It's been there for a little over an hour now. You can see that traffic is moving, but it is not moving fast. Now, let's go ahead and jump to our maps and see where that crash happened. You see all that red and orange means that we do have some backup that's starting to build as a result of this crash. Again, it's going to be a big problem this morning. We're going to continue to watch it. This crash was reported at I-35 northbound at North Main. A second crash just popped up there at San Pedro. We'll be watching that one. It may just be a discrepancy from our system, but we are watching that KSAT has reported this crash at I-35 northbound at Main. And again, it is leading to some big delays for our early morning commuters. Another crash happening here off Loop 410 eastbound right at Fredericksburg Road, also causing a little bit of delay. We know we've been talking about the overnight rain that has led to a lot of ponding and wet roads in the area, and see where these crashes have been reported. It's been in this ponding where the green is, and the blue, the green where we have wet roads, and the blue where we have a lot of that ponding. And we have a few more crashes that just popped up in our system. We're going to have to take a look at those and see how they may be impacting the commute right now. But we are still seeing some wet roads right now in our area, and ponding again off towards Elmendorf and Von Ormy. So these are things that drivers are going to want to be aware of if they're going to be heading out the door in the next few moments. What I want to do is flip our camera to that crash that's happening here off 410 at Fredericksburg. It's just a mess this morning, Justin. I think a lot of that rain has left us some big delays and crashes for our early morning commuters.
There's no doubt about it. And some of that rain was really heavy earlier, especially on the south side of San Antonio, where we picked up close to 2 inches of rain. We'll take the rain. We don't want the messy conditions, though, on the road. And we still have some rain lining up from Kennedy, Forestville, up to San Antonio. Looks like we got an outflow boundary here, and that's what's kicking off some of these storms. A little closer look here at the activity starting to move into Bexar County once again. This is going to be pretty quick moving. I don't think it'll cause a lot of problems. And really, much of the activity we've seen this morning has not been severe. We had a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings much earlier this morning, but this is generally just rain. You can see now that this is moving through Elmendorf. This will pass through 410 and then I-37 there on the south and southeast side of San Antonio. So heads up, that'll be moving south and west. And then we've gotten some pretty heavy rain right around Forestville. Very electrical storm. Those white lines represent lightning, and it's been very electrical. Both Forestville along 181 there, Karnes City, Kennedy. You're also seeing some of that heavier rain. And this will likely work its way towards Pleasanton and Jourdanton, where they just got a dose of rain a little bit earlier. So we're not completely done yet, but I will say here in San Antonio, things are really starting to quiet down, minus that area of rain that we just showed you there on the east side of town. Still, the roads are going to be wet, and there's going to be some places, especially those low-lying areas, where the rain has piled up. Take a look at some of these numbers. This is healthy rain. 4.5 inches in northern parts of Real County. That caused some flooding issues there. Del Rio, 1.73. Stinson picked up 1 3/4. Now, the airport, only 1/100 of an inch. They missed out on a lot of the rain up there in the north side of San Antonio. Didn't get much out of this. But the swath stretching across the hill country, that's where the big numbers were, and then southern parts of Bexar County and points south. There's the scene outside right now. Sky's actually trying to clear some. That's a beautiful sight. 76 degrees at the airport, 77 Stinson, 73 Kelly, and temperatures In the low 70s there around Port SA, 72 Bernie Stage, 70 Rock Springs, 73 in Uvalde, but still some 80s south of where that cold front is trying to push through. Dew points have come down some. They're not going to come down just a whole lot today, but it'll feel a lot better, I think, than what it felt like yesterday. Temperatures in the 60s north of the front, 65 Abilene, 62 Lubbock, 58 in Amarillo. Won't get that cool here, but it will feel just a little bit better today. Here's the forecast. Takes us up to about 90. You can expect the clouds to clear some as we get into the afternoon hours. Still, a few showers and storms are possible a little bit later today. This shows some activity maybe down around Cotulla. And then I think south and east, we may see some reformation of some showers and storms. And some of those could get a little closer to San Antonio this evening, although I think our rain chance is probably about 20% here now that these showers and storms have pushed through this morning. 95 degrees tomorrow, 96 on Thursday, 97 Friday. So we're back to the heat and humidity by the middle part of this week. Another chance for rain, though, does move back into the forecast Sunday into Monday, guys.
Thank you, sir. 622, about 75 degrees.
And listen up, movie fans. Steven Spielberg and Netflix are teaming up for a multi-film deal. Details ahead.
Wet dishes? Residue? Spots? It's not your dishwasher's fault. Simply add Finish Jet Dry 3-in-1 to rinse, dry, and shine your dishes. Solve 3 problems at once with Finish Jet Dry 3-in-1.
With WW, I said goodbye 78 pounds.
Goodbye 52 pounds.
Goodbye 66 pounds.
Goodbye 37 pounds.
Goodbye 52 pounds. Hello, new me.
Hello, world.
Hello to playing basketball.
Hello, front and center in the photos.
Hello, feeling beautiful.
WW, weight loss that works, wellness that works. Download the WW app today and say hello to a 14-day free trial.
It's very common to have both sensitivity and gum issues. Dentists and hygienists will want to recommend Sensodyne sensitivity and gum. You get the sensitivity relief as well as improved gum health, all in one.
Steven Spielberg is teaming up with Netflix. The filmmakers Amblin Partners has signed a multi-film deal with the streaming service. So the partnership comes 2 years after Spielberg backed changes to remove Netflix films from Academy Awards consideration.
And finally, this small aircraft could be the air taxi of the near future. It is electric, can carry 4 people and a pilot, and has a range of 150 miles. The company behind it says the air taxi will reduce traffic and pollution at the same time. They say the official launch is only about 3 years away.
Well, reducing traffic is a good thing.
Yes, it is, especially in a growing city like San Antonio.
Definitely. Time now is 6:26, and we're at about 75 degrees right now.
Still ahead on GMSA, very latest on an overnight fire in northeast Bexar County. Katrina Weber is standing by with a live report.
And there's a look out there with TransGuide. It's a mess at Loop 410 at Culebra Road. Be careful out there. And we're going to be checking in with Stephen Cavazos after the break.
The workday already has begun for the Bexar County Fire Marshal's Office, trying to figure out how a fire started here in northeast Bexar County. I'm Katrina Weber. I'll tell you more about it.
Big showers and thunderstorms, rather ominous cloud over downtown San Antonio, but conditions apparently are improving, but traffic is still an absolute mess. And good morning to you. It is Tuesday, 22nd of June.
Thanks for joining us this morning. We've had an eventful morning, a lot of rain out there, very different from yesterday.
Justin's been here all night tracking these storms. What's the latest, sir?
Hey, good morning to you guys. Things are starting to quiet down, but you'd never know it by that live cam shot there. It looks very ominous. We do have some storms still there in southern part of the southeastern part of Bexar County, and with the sunrise, kind of an eerie color out there. But no severe weather. This has mainly been rain. It has caused some issues on the roadways, as Stephen will tell you here in just a second. But first, let's take a look at where some of these heavier storms are moving now out of Wilson County into Atascosa County. It's this little section right here that has been very electrical, moved through Floresville and Poth, and now it's starting to move towards Pleasanton and Jordan. As it moves south and west, it will start to affect areas there along 281. So heads up. If you're watching us from Kennedy and Karn City, also dealing with quite a bit of rain there, but starting to move out. And I mentioned Bexar County, San Antonio, things looking better now. Still a little bit of rain around Elmendorf, but most of the city seeing the rain beginning to shift out. It was pretty loud earlier with some showers and storms. As we look at temperatures, we're in the 70s right now, 76 degrees at the airport, 72 Boerne Stage, 70 Comfort, 70 Bandera. And temperatures warm to the south of that front, still in the 80s, but north we've cooled down into the 70s, cooled down some. It will feel better than yesterday for sure. High temperatures today will be somewhere around 90 degrees, still 20% chance of rain through the morning time, but looks like most of the rain this afternoon will be down to our south and east. Yes, the heavy rain has come to a stop, but that doesn't mean the roads aren't still very slick. Let's check in with Steven now for the latest on what's going on the roads.
That's definitely right, Justin. Roads are still slick, and of course we want people to be very cautious. A new issue has happened here off 410 at Culebra Road. Our friends at TransGuide are working to get us a closer look there, but you can see from the wider scope of it, it has created such a mess right here. We're seeing those traffic almost like a strip of lights down at Culebra, and we do have our emergency crews that are out there. This just popped up, and it doesn't look like this is going to be clearing anytime soon, at least within the next half hour or so. We're just seeing that traffic build and more emergency crews working to get out there as quickly as they can and safely at that. Now, taking a look at our map now, we are seeing that traffic build here in those westbound lanes of 410 right at Culebra where that crash was reported. We're watching this closely, but another one that we are keeping a close eye on is right here at Loop 410 eastbound at Fredericksburg. We told you about this a little bit earlier where we saw it on TransGuide. Traffic is still a mess out there, guys, and that is not good, especially when we still have some slick roads. So we want people to be very cautious as they're heading out the door this morning. Another situation that's working to improve but improving very slowly is right here of I-35 northbound at North Main, where a crash was reported near the downtown area, leading to some major backups there. We'll show you that in just a moment, but this has been the main issue this morning in the San Antonio area. But taking a look around our outlying areas, things are still looking pretty good if you're coming into the downtown area. We're looking at 26 minutes coming in from New Braunfels on 35. And if you're coming in from I-10, we have 29 minutes. And right now, 87 coming in from Lavernia, a little bit of a slowdown, 25 minutes, but want to try to bring it back here to TransGuide and show you where we're still seeing that mess on 35 northbound. This is a view from south, but take a look, guys. Traffic is moving, but not moving very quickly. We'll be watching it right here. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you for the update, Steve. Let's get to our top news story this morning. A fire investigation now in the hands of the Bexar County Fire Marshal. That fire broke out overnight inside a home in northeast Bexar County in the 8300 block of Greenham. That's near Montgomery Drive.
It forced 3 people out of their beds. Katrina Weber is there with a live report. Now, Katrina, you mentioned earlier that one of those people had to be treated at a hospital.
Well, that's right. Firefighters tell us that he cut his finger on some glass as he tried to use a garden hose to beat back the flames. The family at the same time called 911, bringing numerous fire agencies to their home after 2 this morning. Bexar County firefighters tell us that 3 people who live here somehow woke up in time and noticed the smoke and fire, even though they had no smoke detectors. Again, they tried to put out the fire initially with a garden hose as they were calling 911. When firefighters got here, they did find flames and smoke coming from the back of the home. They say it appears that it started in a bedroom where one person had been sleeping, and that is where most of the damage is. They were able to keep the fire from spreading throughout the house. The firefighters did have a bit of trouble with the heat from the fire combining with the hot weather, but they were able to recover rather quickly. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Reporting live in northeast Bexar County, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Katrina, thank you. Other headlines this morning. There's been a surge of Americans getting health coverage from the federal government since the pandemic began. According to data just released, a record-setting 80.5 million Americans are enrolled in Medicaid, or the Children's Health Insurance Program, or CHIP. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services says Medicaid enrollment rose by nearly 10 million people between February of last year and January of this year. That's a hike of just over 15%. During that same time frame, the number of children joining CHIP increased by 2%. The Trump administration focused on limiting Medicaid access by placing more requirements on those seeking health coverage. The Biden administration is trying to increase access to Americans by making the enrollment process less difficult.
The Senate is poised for the first time to vote on a sweeping election reform bill tonight. However, it's a vote that many believe will fail. All 50 Democrats appear to have reached an agreement on the legislation, but it still faces tough opposition from Republicans, where 10 votes would be needed for it to pass. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki acknowledged the bill likely will not secure the votes it needs. In March, the House passed the far-reaching For the People Act, which would take steps like expanding absentee and early voting, limiting partisan gerrymandering, and reforming campaign finance laws.
Listen to this. A federal jury has convicted a San Antonio man for his role in a COVID-19 related hoax back in April of last year. Evidence revealed during trial shows 40-year-old Christopher Charles Perez posted 2 threatening messages on Facebook in which he claimed to have paid someone with COVID to lick items at grocery stores in the San Antonio area because he was trying to scare people away from visiting the stores. The threat ended up being fake, but someone took a screenshot of the messages, which eventually made their way to the FBI for investigation. Perez faces up to 5 years in federal prison for each of the 2 counts of perpetuating a hoax. 6:37 this morning, the Delta COVID-19 variant has already shown up in nearly every state in the country.
CNN's Brett Conway has more from people who have seen a Delta surge up close.
We never imagined this big of an increase.
But that was before the Delta variant.
Maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, it was maybe 10% of those isolates that were sequenced. And as of last week, it appeared to be 90%.
The CEO of Cox Health, a healthcare system based in Springfield, Missouri, says they've seen a 6-fold increase in COVID-19 hospitalizations.
We're seeing younger patients. We're seeing them sicker.
He says low vaccination rates provide kindling.
Almost all of our cases are unvaccinated people.
And he says his staff is exhausted.
It's harder to know that you're risking your well-being for someone that chose not to vaccinate, that then puts both them and you at risk.
In Manatee County, Florida, 2 people are dead and 4 were hospitalized after a COVID-19 outbreak at a government office building. One person who worked in the same IT office did not catch the virus. That person was vaccinated. This county administrator worries the Delta variant could be to blame here.
The clinical presentation gives me concern that we're dealing with a very infectious variant that is quite deadly.
And according to a new study by scientists at Helix, it's growing faster in counties with lower vaccination rates. One concerning factor putting Delta on track to become dominant. I'm Britt Conway reporting.
And we released the first episode of KSAT Explains about a year ago, and from an interrogation on the myths surrounding the Battle of the Alamo to a look at our city's history and future as a beer town. The show has covered a lot in the last 12 months. To mark KSAT Explains' first anniversary, the Explains team is sharing what they've learned working on the show. 1 year of KSAT Explains will be live streamed tonight at 7 p.m. on KSAT's Facebook page, KSAT.com, and the KSAT TV app. And to watch any past episodes of KSAT Explains on demand, just go to ksat.com/explains.
Today is another great day to get out your flower crowns and cascarones as another new batch of Fiesta activities are about to get underway.
Fiesta de los Reyes gets underway in just a couple of hours, and then Niosa kicks off tonight. And a lot of people are still buzzing about the Texas Cavaliers River Parade last night. Thousands of people came out to the Riverwalk to see all of the colorful floats. And the heat was a big factor this year because Fiesta usually happens in April.
That's what it's all about. And I was so excited with the porch parade to see how many people were participating from all over San Antonio. It's just not the people who are in the coronation or doing this or that. It is inclusive of everyone.
Our website is the place to be for all things Fiesta. Head to KSAT.com. Look for the Fiesta Fund right there on our homepage.
And if you need a ride, Via has announced the return of its Fiesta Park and Ride service just in time for Niosa. Though not as extensive as years past, the service will run from the Crossroads Park and Ride and Madla Transit Center near Zarzamora and I-35 and will drop people off on Market Street at the Convention Center. Service starts this evening from 5 and it runs through 11, and that is through Friday. Masks are required and tickets are $5 round trip and can be purchased at ticket booths and the Via Go mobile app.
Right now at 6:40, about 75 degrees.
Still ahead on GMSA, how sleep deprivation can lead to early stages of dementia and how to reduce that risk.
Introducing your 2021 Fiesta Royalty, powered by your local San Antonio area Chevy dealers.
Hello, my name's Rebecca Wynn, and I'm this year's Queen of Soul. Viva Fiesta!
Meet this year's Queen of Soul. Rebecca graduated at the top of her class at Judson High School and is now majoring in early childhood development at Our Lady of the Lake University.
I was playing my violin one day, and the kids that I was teaching, they saw me and they just started waving at me, and it was like a beam of light flashing down, and I knew at that moment I want to start my own daycare.
As Queen, she is making an impact in the community.
With the Queen of Soul organization, I've been able to work with council members to help the community go out and register to vote and complete the census. I've also been able to visit schools and encourage young kids that they can do whatever they put their heart to.
When it comes to Fiesta, Rebecca is probably one of the very few city residents who will experience it for the first time.
After 20 years of living in San Antonio, I've actually never been to a Fiesta event. But I am looking forward to it all. I'm excited to experience like the different people in our community to come together.
And when it comes to pursuing her hobbies, it's a hands-on affair.
I am pretty creative with my hands. I play the violin, a little bit of the ukulele and the piano, and I love to knit and crochet. Anything that involves hand, I'm running towards it.
6:45, welcome back to GMSA. Older adults who have a hard time falling asleep or have frequent nightmares are apparently at a higher risk for developing dementia or dying early.
A new study says sleep deprivation is actually threatening the health of up to 45% of the world's population. According to experts at Harvard Medical School, we are supposed to get between 7 and 10 hours of sleep each night, depending on your age. While there is no current cure for dementia, there are things you can do to reduce your risk. First, stop smoking and drink only in moderation.
If you drink at all, eat a well-balanced diet, exercise, stay mentally active, and keep your blood pressure and cholesterol levels in check. Next, set a bedtime routine designed to relax and soothe. Be sure to turn off your TV or smart devices at least 1 to 2 hours before you even go to bed.
Finally, make sure you have a comfortable bed and pillow. Keep the bedroom cool, quiet, and dark for hours before bed.
Good common sense stuff, and you will need some common sense as you hit the roads this morning.
That's right. It's a mess out there. Let's go ahead and check in with Stephen Cavazos.
We've been tracking it all, Mark and Stephanie. This view here from 410 at Culebra shows that the situation hasn't improved very much here. This crash we told you about a little bit earlier looks like we almost have 2 lanes that are blocked off there as we have first responders that are out there working to clear a crash. We do have spotted a vehicle and some folks out there on Culebra right now, but our 410 that is. But let's take a look on our maps and see how that's looking. Traffic just starting to delay there. All that red here in the westbound lanes of 410 means that traffic is starting to build as a result of this crash. But this seems to be the ongoing theme of today with all that weather that we'd been seeing overnight. Another crash reported here off 281 northbound right at Hildebrand. Same situation, guys. We're seeing that traffic starting to build right there again in these northbound lanes right at 281. That yellow and orange means that things are not looking like they're going to be moving anytime soon. Big one right here that we've been talking about all morning long right here on GMSA, I-35 northbound at North Main, where we had a crash that was reported about a little almost 2 hours ago, and it has not improved very much. We'll bring you a glimpse of TransGuide here in just a moment, but take a look at all that red where that traffic just continues to build. Another crash that was reported here off Loop 410 eastbound at Cherry Ridge Drive. It has been a very, very, very busy morning now. While it's not clear what caused a lot of these crashes, we do want to point out on our road weather map, we still have a lot of ponding out where this blue is, and green means that we do have a lot of wet roads, and that's where a lot of these crashes were starting to be coming in from. So take a look out there in Elmendorf, still some ponding out there, and out towards Von Ormy we do have some wet roads. Bringing it one last look here at TransGuide at that mess at 35, guys. It has been such a busy morning, and if you're going to be heading out in this direction, be sure to pack that patience with you. Justin?
Stephen, thank you, sir. And as we look at the live radar right now, we do have some showers and storms still around San Antonio, but in general, we're starting to see things die down some, decrease in coverage, and where you see some of the heavy rain down there around Wilson County, that is moving away. It does look a little ominous if you've been outside, but I can promise you things are really looking a lot better. We'll zoom in a little bit closer to Elmendorf. China Grove still seeing some showers there, and those are working off to the south and west. Also around Mitchell Lake, just to the south and west of Mitchell Lake, still seeing a couple downpours. But the heavy rain is down here across parts of Atascosa and Wilson County. And this is really just about to move into Pleasanton. There could be some minor street flooding there, just based on what we've been seeing this morning. Rainfall rates anywhere from 2 to 3 inches per hour, and that has caused some issues. Southern parts of Bear County picked up a quick 2 inches this morning with some of this activity. It's mainly moved through the 181 corridor here, although we're still seeing some heavy rain just to the west of Kennedy and Karnes City, and still some lightning strikes there too. So these are still fairly electrical, but this will continue to move south and southwest and really in general away from San Antonio, and we'll see things quiet down this afternoon. Now, we were hoping that the humidity would come down quite a bit. I just stepped outside. I don't know if that's the case just yet. It's going to be a gradual thing, but with this front, we should see some slightly lower humidity levels, and that is a great shot. Let's soak that in because that is beautiful. We got some sun peeking through there after the morning rains. 75 degrees, mostly cloudy at the airport. Northeasterly winds now at 7 miles per hour. So that indicates that weak frontal boundary is through. 72 Bernie Stage, 70 in Comfort, 72 Kerrville, 75 Canyon Lake, and 72 up there in Junction. South of the front, we still have some 80s on the map. But with that rain moving towards Pleasanton and towards Cotulla, we should see those numbers drop off a little bit this morning. We talked about the dew points. I would hope that they would go down a little bit more than what they are, but we're at 73. That is better than what we were dealing with yesterday at this time. And I think gradually we'll see some slightly drier air work in today. It's a one-day thing, though, because by tomorrow, humidity and heat return. The forecast heat index today, look, it's still going to be up there, but yesterday we had heat indices well into the 100s. That will not be the case today. 97, your feels like temperature around 4 o'clock. There could be a few spots down to the south that do get heat index values close to 100, but it is June. It's nice that at least we're getting some sort of a wind shift here. Northeasterly winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. We should make it up to about 90 degrees or so. Mostly cloudy skies breaking out to partly cloudy skies this afternoon. And a quick check of the forecast here does keep a few showers and storms in the forecast south of San Antonio, a little bit closer to the coast this afternoon. I can't rule out a stray shower this afternoon, even here in San Antonio. 95 tomorrow, 96 on Thursday, 97 Friday, and then a bit of a pattern change brings some more rain chances into the forecast Sunday into Monday, guys.
You got here around 1 this morning, Justin?
Been a little busy.
Yeah. All right, take the cat nap, pal.
All right, we'll do.
6:51, about 75 degrees.
If these walls could talk, they tell you one local family story and the stories of many other people. I'm Katrina Weber. That is tomorrow on GMSA.
And a quick look out with live cam. We're at 75 degrees. That's very different from yesterday. We were about 80 yesterday, I think, about this
80,
time.
82 degrees.
Yeah. We'll take this little break and we'll be right back.
Good morning, everyone. If you're just waking up for us, get ready for a mess of problems out on the roadways. We've been tracking it all right here on GMSA. Take a look at 35 at Main, where traffic just continues to look like it's at a standstill. If you're in that area, things are moving for you pretty quickly. There is a crash that has been reported out there from TxDOT right here off I-35 northbound pass at North Main Avenue. You can see all that red means that there's a lot of congestion and traffic is starting to delay as the morning does pick up. And that seems to be the ongoing theme this morning. If you can see here, we got another crash. Loop 410 westbound at Culebra, where traffic continues to build, and a third right here at 281 northbound at Hildebrand. Same situation, guys. Traffic just continuing to build because of all these crashes, but right now the inbound times coming into the downtown San Antonio area are still looking pretty good.
Stephen, thank you. And looking at the radar, we still have a broken line trying to push to the south and west, but this is out of San Antonio. Things will clear up a little bit here. Temperatures up around 90 this afternoon. Look for some sun later today. We can't rule out a stray shower or storm this afternoon, and then hotter and more humid weather returns tomorrow.
Down to 75. Grab a parka, folks.
Yes, we can use this. We'll see you back here at 9.